Hey guys, it's Anaya back again with another word and another message. This is the Soul of Naya. If you're new to the channel, where I'm here to represent the word of God so the enemy does not come to rob. Okay, so we're back to back today with two different videos. As you guys can tell, this video is called Transition Season. So, what is a transition season? I'm just going to give my definition of it before we get into the message and the things that I have for you guys today. So a transition season is basically, of course, you moving from an old process, an old way of being, and transitioning into something new. But the whole purpose of the transition is to get off all the old stuff, the old version of you, and you're now in a different state, in a different way of forming or moving into a new look. So of course you guys know that the main analogy that is used for a transition is a butterfly. How you see a caterpillar now has turned into a butterfly and it has wings and it goes and it flies. However, with a caterpillar, it just crawls around. And so this is what I want to speak to you guys today, but I want to more so speak on this more of a spiritual perspective on what a transition season is. So when you're in transition season, it literally requires all hands off and for you to really honestly truly go with the flow. And if you guys have not seen the video that I have did called go with the flow, please watch that because it's going to pretty much tie into this message today. So you have to be able to allow nature to take its course. There's nothing that you can do that will further make something happen faster than it's supposed to or anything like that. You really just have to let nature take its course, because if not, you're going to experience a lot of burnout, a lot of impatience, a lot of frustration, and it's all unnecessary, and it could all be prevented if you just try to be patient and just go with the flow and just let things come to you naturally instead of you trying to push, tug, pull, and do all that unnecessary stuff. So I want to just give two different dreams in this video and basically what these dreams meant, and I want to give you guys scripture along with this. So recently God has been talking to me a lot about butterflies. God talks through many different ways, and everyone knows a story of a butterfly, but really specifically right now, because I'm in a transition season, I'm in a transition period, and God has really been talking to me through butterflies. So recently I had this dream, probably about it's probably been a month since I had this dream. And this dream really threw me off, and it wasn't until last week that I got the interpretation of this dream. And yes, sometimes God has you sitting on dreams and he does not give interpretations right away because he needs to allow certain things to play out so that you can be able to register and understand that interpretation. So in this dream, I was just standing somewhere, right? And I was outside and it was pretty much butterflies everywhere, but these butterflies were not flying. These butterflies, in the beginning when I first woke up, I thought these butterflies were dead. And so it scared me because I'm like, oh snap, like, did I miss God? Did I miss something? And I was pretty much panicking and just kept thinking about this dream until I spoke to somebody about it, and then the dream came back to my mind and it kind of just clicked in my head. And so pretty much in this dream there was butterflies everywhere, all on the ground. Like, they were not flying in the air, they were all over people's cars, they were just still, like they weren't dead. And how I knew they weren't dead, after of course I was panicking and stuff, was because these butterflies still have color. If you have ever seen a dead butterfly without, the people who play with butterflies and stuff, the butterflies' colors fade and they look dead. But real, like, butterflies that are still living, they still have a vibrant color to them. And in this dream, these butterflies were monarch butterflies and they were orange. But also in the dream, there was 6 white storks that flew over my head. And if anybody doesn't know what a stork is pretty much a bird that everyone sees that carries the baby in their mouth, like the little, the package with the baby and stuff. And it flew over my head, but these storks didn't have no babies or nothing. So initially, again, when I first woke up from this dream, I was panicking because I'm like, oh my God, the butterflies are dead, the storks didn't have no babies. But eventually God was like, no, that's not what's happening. What's happening is that it's not time to fly right now. And 2, what you seen the white storks flying over your head means that they're going to get the blessing and to bring the blessing back. That's what's going on. It's not initially a negative thing because the butterflies aren't flapping and because the storks don't have babies. It's because it's a time, there's a season, there's a transition. That's why the storks were going over my head and past my head, not because I missed anything or because I missed the move. Nothing of that sort. Because sometimes your mind likes to play tricks on you, and sometimes the devil likes to make you think of a negative even though it's not a negative. And so every day since I've had that dream, a butterfly has literally flew very close to me or in front of my car. And of course, yes, we know that it's spring and stuff like this, but the amount of times that I have been seeing butterflies and them just crossing my path is like clockwork. I shouldn't be seeing butterflies like that all over the place. Like, you know, this is how I just know that anytime I do see this, it's just a reminder to give myself grace and that I'm in a transition season. Because me as an individual, I can be very hard on myself, and God does not want any of his children to be hard on themselves, because we're not called to be perfect. And if you guys see this shirt, this is a shirt that I made, and it says, this rose has thorns, and on the back of it says progression over perfection in a circle. And so this is what I have to constantly remind myself of, because I'm still transitioning. And as a butterfly, my big sis, and she knows who she is, she did a lot of research on butterflies too. And the one thing that she taught me about butterflies is the simple fact that butterflies don't fly right away when they come out the cocoon. They don't. They literally come out the cocoon, they kind of crawl or sit on some type of plant or something, and all they do is just flutter their wings, but they don't take off and fly anywhere. And I'm actually going to tag a video that God led me to look up to see what it looks like when a butterfly is trying to fly, and I'm going to tag it, or I'm going to link it down below in this video. But butterflies, they do not fly right away when they come out the cocoon. They still have a transition period even after they are not a caterpillar anymore, or they're not in the cocoon anymore. So it's like we as people have to still give ourselves grace. So be patient with yourself. So Ecclesiastes 3:1 says, there is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. Ecclesiastes 3 verses 11 says, he has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. So imagine how frustrating it could be for the butterfly to come out. And it's almost, in a sense, the butterfly has to almost teach itself how to fly, because it was just a caterpillar before. It didn't have no wings. So you telling me I've been asleep for, I don't know how long butterflies be in a cocoon for. I'm going to just throw out a number. I've been in the cocoon for 6 weeks, and I'm supposed to come out and flap these big old things. And God is like that with us. He's like, give yourself patience. You're not going to fly right away. Once I give you an idea, if I give you an idea, a vision, etc., you're not going to fly right away. Just think about Joseph. Think about somebody in the Bible, Joseph. Joseph was given a dream when he was 17 years old. He did not live out that dream until he turned 30 years old. Things are a transition. God might give you something one day, but it's not necessarily going to happen the next. You have to allow it to go. You have to let nature take its course. And I'm learning this right now too. So don't think I'm just sitting here talking at y'all, because as I'm telling you guys this stuff, I'm experiencing this stuff on a real face level. So earlier, this week, or not earlier this week, earlier this day, today, I was not feeling right mentally. I don't know where it came from, but it really just hit me like a ton of bricks. And so when I wasn't feeling right earlier today, I had just got done praying to God stuff, and I'm driving to work, and I'm just like, God, I'm really just I don't know what's going on. I don't know why I feel like this. And immediately as I'm thinking this, and I was texting my mom this morning too, because I told her about it, a hawk, and I see hawks, a lot and stuff like that, because, roadkill on side of road. So it's not like I've never seen a hawk before, but I've never seen a hawk like this so up close. Literally, as I'm driving, a hawk flies. So pretend this is me driving, right? A hawk out of nowhere comes this low to my car. Mind you, my car's right here, so I can see it out of my mirror and stuff like that. And it literally comes in front of my car, does this, is leading me somewhere, and then it just goes back up. and then it just goes straight and it goes back up, and I don't see the hawk again. And I'm just looking like, I have never seen a hawk. I don't think I've ever seen a hawk that up close before, and it was like flying like in front of my car, like pretty much like leading me, if that makes sense. I hope that visual makes sense. And so it instantly, I just start crying, y'all. Like I'm this close, about to pull into the base, and I'm just crying. I'm like, I hope these people don't think it's something wrong with me, but like I'm just crying because I'm just like, even though all this stuff is happening, God is still leading me through the entire process, and I really don't have to worry about a thing. And because I am the type of person that likes to prepare, like I stated in my last video, with going with the flow. And so it's like, when I don't feel like I have a clear direction on stuff, it really puts some type of pressure, and it makes me feel some type of way. But I just know that I'm not in control at the end of the day. God is in control. And so just going back to Ecclesiastes 3:11, where it says, he has also set eternity in the human heart. No one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. It is not our business to know, okay, God gave us this, but we don't know how it's going to end. Or we can see the end, but don't understand the in-betweens of the beginning and the end. We're not going to know everything. That's just straight like that. And you just have to understand that. And I have to understand that. And so another dream that I want to talk about in this video, I had this dream a couple months ago. And in this dream, I was with my friend, and we were in a mall. Like, it was this massive mall, and I was wearing high heels. And so in the dream, me and my friend was getting on the escalator, the thing that goes up in the mall. And these two girls that, I didn't really like, I knew that they had some type of animosity towards me in high school, but I didn't really feed too much into it. And I seen these girls, and they were coming down the escalator. And so as me and my friend were about to get on, they were looking at me and my friend. And so I had kind of stumbled a little bit getting onto the elevator or the escalator, because I was wearing heels. And so me in real life, I'm sorry, I'm a sneakerhead. Like, I only wear heels on occasions, and that's once in a blue moon. Like, I wear sneakers, I wear boots. I wear flats. I don't get down with the heels. And so by that happening, and so when the girls seen us and I stumbled and stuff, they start laughing, and they start making jokes at me because I was stumbling getting on top of the escalator. But once I was on the escalator, I was fine. I was going up either way, but they were coming down the escalator. So this was the message of God also telling me that you're in another transition, because one, he knows how to speak to me. I don't wear high heels like that, so he know that I don't even like walking in them things. And the fact that I was stumbling getting on the escalator just again shows that, like, I'm in a transition, and it might seem rocky. It might seem like I'm getting the hang of things, and I might stumble a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm still going up, if that makes sense. I'm still going up, and I'm still moving in the direction I'm supposed to. So while your enemies are looking at you and they're trying to ridicule you, they're going down. They're coming down. So all that chitter chatter and what they got to say about you, not going to matter at the end of the day, because it's going to fall to the ground. It's going to return to dust. They're going to return to dust. So don't pay attention to the haters. To back this up, I have the scripture Nehemiah 4 verse 1, and it says, when Sanballat heard that we were ridiculing the wall, he became angry and was greatly incensed. I think that's how you say it. He ridiculed the Jews. So, if y'all don't know the story of Nehemiah, the story of Nehemiah is pretty much, he was rebuilding the wall for the Jews and stuff like that. And it was 3 haters that Nehemiah had, and these haters kept coming to him. They came to Nehemiah about a good total, I feel like it was about 4 or 5 times. And they just kept messing with him, just kept with the chitter chatter. And Nehemiah just kept building the wall up. And even after he was done building the wall up, they still had stuff to say. And so it's like, you have to really just ignore people. And so the last thing that I want to say about this video before I bring it to a close is, earlier today, I don't know what happened, but this is just another sign that God has my back, and he is loyal. He is faithful to what he says is going to happen. So earlier, probably about 7 months ago, I did another video with Noah's Ark, and it was also kind of titled The Transition Season. And in that video, I mentioned how before Noah let the dove out, he let a raven out, and the raven represented darkness, etc. And so it only was mentioned one time that Noah let a raven out. But after he let the raven out, he let the dove out 3 different times. The first time the dove didn't come back with anything. The second time the dove came back with the olive branch. And then the third time, we never seen the dove again. And so what the dove bringing back an olive leaf represented that it's loyalty there. God is going to tell you when the time is more and more near. Whereas with the devil, what he likes to do when he's in control, when God gives him his little bit of power that's temporary to mess things up and to cause havoc, he only shows you darkness. He doesn't show you any type of loyalty that is coming to a close, that this is coming to a close. He just shows you all this darkness, but it doesn't really look like it's getting better. However, when God is fully in control and he is not letting the enemy come in or interfere, he's going to bring back stuff. He's going to keep coming back and be like, here, it's getting closer to the time for you to do what I told you to do. Here, do this. Here, do that. He's going to keep bringing you these giving you signs and wonders and stuff like that. That's what our God likes to do. If we talking about the same God, this is what he likes to do. So earlier today, my leadership, I'm in a meeting and stuff, and one of my superintendent, she comes over to me and she's like, hey, like so and so wants to see you, da 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 da. So I'm like, okay, I'll be over there. So I'm having what I can think of in my head of what this person wants me for. And so by the time I get there, I'm going to the person's office. Somebody else stops me in the hallway and was like, oh, you going to such and such office? Good luck, have fun. And I'm sitting here like, huh? What do you mean good luck, have fun? Like, I'm confused. And so I get there, and as I get there, the person picks up the phone and they're like, huh, I thought I was supposed to, and I was standing there, and the person, it was in regards to me. The person that she was talking to on the phone, it was in regards to me. So whatever she was about to tell me, she couldn't tell me anymore. So it was almost like, I'm going to tell you another day. I'm going to tell you another day. And that right there, it gives you expectation. It gives you hope. And this is what God does too. He'll tell you something to get you, pumped up, to get you hyped, to get you excited, but it's not time yet. It's not necessarily that, oh, never mind, it's not going to happen for you anymore. It's just more of there's a pause on this right now, but I just want to give you a heads up that there is something here. There is something in the air, but it's not time yet. So that's basically what I just want to wrap into this. God has a perfect timing for everything. You're not missing nothing. You're not delaying nothing, because I'm going to do another message on that too. If God has perfect timing, I honestly, truly don't think that we have that much control that we can delay anything. And I might get some ridicule on that, but honestly, the way my God set up, I really don't think we can delay anything, because God has perfect timing. So with that said, I really hope that this message brought some type of encouragement. Again, I just be trying to share some of my experiences of what I'm going through in my life to help and better you guys, to keep you guys on the right path. So with that being said, I love you guys, and I see you guys in the next video. Peace.